Well, the House Judiciary Committee hearing, which is chaired by Democrat Jerry Nadler, got off with a bang, didn't it? When AG Bill Barr refuted the entire premise of the hearings.
So you agree that there may be systemic racism?
To the extent, in where?
Let me continue my line of questioning.
I don't agree that there's systemic racism in the police department.
Specifically,
generally in this country.
And Bill Barr was not just accused of systemic racism, he was accused of, wait for it, systematic racism. Not quite sure what the difference is, but there must be one.
Thank you for your service and for your great work. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Mr. Richmond.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Attorney General Barr, you started your testimony with eloquent words about the life and legacy of John Lewis fighting systematic racism, voter intimidation, civil rights. The one thing that you have in common with your two predecessors, both Attorney General Sessions and Attorney General Whitaker, is that when you all came here and brought your top staff, you brought no black people. That, sir, is systematic racism. That is exactly what John Lewis spent his life fighting. And so I would just suggest that actions speak louder than words, and you really should keep the name of the Honorable John Lewis out of the Department of Justice's mouth.
So lack of proportional representation equals systematic racism?
This is my goal. My goal is to get every black person in America that's a descendant of slavery $1 million at least. That take about 44 trillion. So that's my goal. So I'm working up on 44 trillion. Everything black people spend money on, it should be a black company that provides it. Okay? If we make up for 13% of this nation's population, we should make up for 13% of the ownership of land, 13% of we should be represented at least 13-14% on boards of financial institutions and so on and so forth. That should be persistent or consistent throughout, but it is not.
Wow. Does that 13% rate apply to, say, the NBA, where 75% of the players are black? Does it apply to homicide victims, where half of them are black? Does it apply to abortion, 25% of abortions are performed on black women? How far do you want to go with this? Now, at the hearing, it was brought up that Bill Barr shockingly donated money to Republicans?
And in fact, you and your wife have donated over $730,000 to Republican and conservative candidates, including donations of $58,000 to Republican senators and Senate candidates in the 4 months preceding your confirmation. That's correct,
Are you surprised I'm a Republican?
Is that correct that you made those donations?
Over a long period of time.
Including just before.
Man, they wouldn't even let the man go to the bathroom.
Waited an hour for you this morning. I haven't had lunch. I'd like to take a 5-minute break.
Mr. Attorney General, we are almost finished. We're going to be finished in a few minutes. Otherwise, we can certainly take a break. But
You're real class.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
After this, if you still want, we'll have a break.
No, he wants a break now.
You want it now?
And you just
Fine.
mentioned rudeness. I think we're seeing it on display. Let's let the Attorney General have a break.
I mean, Nadler wouldn't even let him go to the bathroom. What did they think he was going to do?
Of course, we all have a stake in seeing that this portion of the Queen's American Goodwill Tour is completed successfully. And we can all take pride that the Queen has chosen our sixth visit. Indeed, it is for all the people who will be able to share in the celebration, especially exciting.
Wouldn't let him answer, and his answers aren't relevant?
I don't want the time. I want the Attorney General to be able to have enough time to respond to accusations and questions asked him, and you guys not cut him off.
What you want is irrelevant. What's irrelevant are the rules.
I mean, isn't the purpose of a hearing to be heard?
For months, you've tried to get the Attorney General to come. He's here. Why don't you let him speak? Why don't you let him answer the questions?
Gentleman is not...
Time after time. If you want the Attorney General to come, at least let him answer the questions and the accusations made against him.
I mean, what was the point?
Good question. I mean, you could have just propped up a picture of him and yelled at it.
I don't think he's as weak as you were describing him to be.
I'm not suggesting he's weak at all. I'm suggesting that you brought him in there to answer questions, and then you didn't give him a chance to answer them. It doesn't matter, what side of the fence you're on. Anybody can watch that process and say that it was not a hearing. That was not a hearing.
Isn't that correct?
No, what is correct is that, what is corrected on February 10th, Monday, I gave instructions as to what
my time.
Yeah, I'm answering your question.
Well, you got to let him answer.
Reclaiming my time.
On February 10th.
Sir.
On February 10th, I directed.
Reclaiming my time, sir. Reclaiming my time, and I know you don't want to answer.
You are wrong, Mr. Attorney General. He's found the investigation had been initiated properly.
He said he found
reclaiming my time without political bias.
He said he
and
found
in April,
evidence.
Reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time, reclaiming my time
without any remedy.
I'm reclaiming my time.
When people resist law enforcement, they're not peaceful.
Reclaiming my time. I'm surprised at your lack of respect.
Gentleman does not have time.
I don't want the time. I want the Attorney General to be able to have enough time to respond to accusations and questions asked him, and you guys not cut him off.
What you want is irrelevant.
Do you have anything you want to say in response to the speeches that have been given by the other side, and then you've been cut off?
Yeah, well, let's on Lafayette.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Tell me the name of the cases.
I don't have the name of the cases.
Where
South
were
Carolina and Alabama. You'll have a chance to comment after your testimony is done here today.
That it is not a self-defining term, as they
only got 2 minutes, sir.
That they recognized.
Mr. Barr, if I
but this is a hearing. I thought I was the one that was supposed to be heard.
And what, pray tell, is this reclaiming my time thing?
It wasn't
reclaiming my time. In April.
Times is when does something actually become custom?
Reclaiming my time. This is not a trick question.
In this country.
I'm reclaiming my time, Mr. General.
Without any remedy.
I'm reclaiming my time. Let me share with you.
So you got to let him answer.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, sir. Reclaiming my time.
Reclaiming my time without political bias.
He said he
and in April, reclaiming my time, Mr. Attorney. Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time, Mr. Barr.
Occurring substances.
Attorney General, reclaiming my time. There are rules by which we operate here. I would ask you to respect them.
But the 64 Act did not extend to...
Reclaiming my time, sir. In both documents...
Mr. Attorney General, reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time.
I think that's what it's...
Okay, reclaiming my time. And again, I'm happy...
Shame on you, Mr. Barr.
Can I just say,
shame on you.
Can I just
My
say,
time is expired.
Now, it appears that Mr. Nadler had an entirely different bedside manner when the hearing involved a witness named Al Sharpton and the questioner was a Republican named Matt Gaetz.
Mr. Chairman and Reverend Sharpton, your current MSNBC co-worker, Joe Scarborough, is my former congressman. And when Joe Scarborough served in the Congress, he had quite a bit to say about your contribution to the national discussion. It was in the 106th Congress that Joe Scarborough filed House Concurrent Resolution 270 entitled Condemning the Racist and Anti-Semitic Views of the Reverend Al Sharpton. Mr. Scarborough's resolution began by saying, whereas the Reverend Al Sharpton has referred to members of the Jewish faith as blood-sucking Jews and Jew bastards. So my question to you is, does Mr. Scarborough's assertion that you said these things, is that true, or did you not say those things?
They are patently untrue. I never said that.
Okay.
Can I finish my answer?
No, it's actually my time, but you will be able to.
Well, I thought you raised the question.
So the next question relates to Mr. Scarborough's second comment. He says, whereas the Reverend...
Since aspersions were cast on the witness will be permitted to answer.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Aspersions weren't cast. I asked the witness...
You asked, was it true that I said that?
I can't reclaim my time, Mr. Chairman.
Witness, you will have your time. The witness will be permitted to answer.
Oh, let him answer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Joe Scarborough then wrote, whereas the Reverend Al Sharpton has referred to members of the Jewish faith as white interlopers and diamond merchants. Have you ever referred to members of the Jewish faith as white interlopers or diamond merchants?
No, sir. I referred to one in Harlem, an individual who I didn't even know was Jewish, as an interloper, and said I should never refer to his race. I said that I was against those that were using apartheid diamonds. And when I did a funeral in Crown Heights in '91, because we were boycotting Oppenheimer and those that were selling diamonds from apartheid South Africa.
Thank
in
you,
the same sermon, I'm trying to now finish my answer, sir. Am I allowed to finish my answer?
I'm allowed to reclaim my time.
You asked a question, and I'm answering.
Yeah, I got a few more.
And I have a few more answers.
I can't wait.
Well, apparently you do because you don't want me to answer.
No, I want to know.
So since you raised it, let me finish.
And I
also
right
talked about people snatching pocketbooks that are in the. I'm not filibustering anything. I'm answering your question.
Everyone will suspend, please.
Little different when a lefty like Al Sharpton is in the crosshairs, isn't it? In my film, Uncle Tom, I talk about how blacks who stray from the way they're supposed to think are treated. Consider this interview with Craig Melvin, the host of MSNBC Hee Haw's show, and the guest is a man named Vernon Jones. Vernon Jones is a Democrat, but the problem is he is black and he is now supporting President Trump.
I like to traffic in facts, and much of what you just said is patently false. But I do want to. Representative Jones. This is my show. I'll ask questions. Give me a second.
You had me on your show.
I know,
let me explain. Don't cut me off when I'm giving an answer.
I'm not cutting you off, but I do. Are you a paid campaign surrogate? Are you being compensated?
Never received. Let me be clear. You get paid to shape a liberal narrative. You get paid to attack this president. I don't get a dime for this president. I don't get a dime from the campaign. Everything I've done is been me and based on my principles. And see, that's the problem. When an African American that's elected official,
I did not raise your
Let me finish now. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Whoa. You're not going to imply that I asked that question because you're black.
So don't ask me that. You only ask me that because I don't fit your narrative. No, this president never offered anything. I don't want anything from this president. It's what I can do for my country. And you need to accept that many other African Americans and others support this president because of his policies. And to insult me to say, am I getting paid?
I've asked the same question. I have asked the same question
and that's
of Democrats who come on.
MSNBC and their narrative to keep blacks silent who happen to support this president. Why can't I be like white liberals or other whites? Nobody questioned they're getting paid. So I have to get paid. Do you ask Democrats? Do they get paid?
I just said if you
paid by Joe Biden.
I just said to you.
Have you ever asked any host on your show that they've been paid by Joe Biden?
State Representative Vernon.
Now, don't forget UncleTom.com to see my movie called Uncle Tom. I'm Larry Elder, and we've got a country to save. I'll see you next time.